A collector walks into a high-end gallery. He doesn't come out with a painting. He walks out with $2 million in cash, and the artwork he supposedly brought in never actually leaves the wall. If he had gone to a traditional bank, a transaction this size would generate a mountain of paperwork. There would be credit checks, committee approvals, and a permanent public footprint of the loan. But inside the gallery, there is zero paper trail. Sometimes the ultra-wealthy need fast liquidity. They might need to cover a sudden business shortfall or quietly hide assets during a messy divorce. In those moments, they need cash quickly, and they don't want regulators or opposing lawyers to know they're borrowing it. To solve that problem, they bypass the traditional financial system. They use the art market as an informal, secretive credit network that operates beyond the reach of standard bank oversight. Behind the pristine, glamorous facade of these galleries operates one of the most expensive and aggressive private credit markets on Earth. Take away the cultural prestige and look at a painting strictly in financial terms. It is an asset with no fixed objective price. Its value is entirely subjective and easily manipulated. This matrix shows how unusual that is. Stocks and real estate are strictly regulated, priced daily, and tracked on public registries. The art market has no public pricing ledger and virtually no mandatory ownership records. A rolled-up canvas is also incredibly easy to move. Millions of dollars in collateral can be placed on a private jet and cross international borders without triggering the intense scrutiny applied to wire transfers or property deeds. This combination of portability, subjective value, and private records makes the art market uniquely suited for private financing. To see how these advantages are actually weaponized, we have to look at the paperwork for a sale that never actually happened. Let's break down exactly how one of these transactions actually works in practice, starting with a contract. Step 1. A collector sells artwork to a gallery at a massive discount, often 60%, for immediate cash, with a secret clause to buy it back. A year later, they return the cash, repurchasing the collateral at full valuation, plus a hefty premium. That premium is a predatory interest rate, but because the paperwork defines the exchange as an art sale rather than a loan, consumer protections and usury laws do not apply. The gallery can charge whatever the borrower will tolerate. Regulated institutions charge 6 to 12% for art-secured loans, but informal gallery rates reach 25%. Galleries then inflate that even higher, quietly tacking on exorbitant mandatory fees for storage and insurance. To justify these wild numbers, some galleries utilize a network of friendly buyers. These are insiders who purchase the art and park it, artificially inflating its price on paper. Those orchestrated sales create a documented price history. Once that inflated baseline is established, the gallery uses it to justify issuing even larger loans against the artist's work in the future. These layered transactions result in a highly engineered financial trap. If an architect wanted to design a system specifically to move debt off the books, they would build it to operate exactly like this. For the gallery, this explains the true incentive. Operating as a private credit fund is mathematically far more profitable than splitting a traditional sale commission with an artist. There is no marketing budget required and no need to constantly court new buyers. The gallery simply lets the collateral sit on a wall behind a cocktail party while the interest clock ticks. This underground market has grown so massive that the traditional establishment has been forced to adapt. Legitimate, major auction houses have launched their own official lending arms just to compete with the shadow galleries. This continuous hidden credit cycle actively distorts global art valuations. It inflates the baseline prices across the entire market. Keep that in mind the next time you read a viral headline about an eye-watering, seemingly irrational price paid for modern art. Those record-breaking millions establish the price history required to justify even larger loans. At this level of the market, the canvas is simply the collateral for a much larger credit cycle.